So, I just thought I might address this briefly because it's been popping up almost everywhere I go, and I thought, well, I'm getting sick of it. I think I should talk about it right now. So, what I want to talk about is like we all see that there are many different dating platforms online. You get to meet the special someone online, and then you plan to meet in real life, and then you know we see whether it becomes successful or unsuccessful, and then you gotta move on to the next person, stuff like that. And a lot of the time, you're swiping left. It's a phrase of like saying no to one person, moving on to the next. Sorry, I got something on my laptop. What is that? Whatever it is, go away. Anyway, so yeah, I can see how people on the internet want to kind of push forward the possibilities of a successful relationship, but there's no guarantee that stuff like that would actually come out spick and span, or something like that, flawless or like successful. There's no guarantee that things would work out. So, yet they've even gone as far as to make certain platforms that are actually Christian centered, and they don't have any specific like subdivisions of the church. It goes for all of them. Whether you be Protestant, Catholic, Presbyterian, Orthodox, the list goes on. They go for any one of them as long as it all falls into the Christian category. I mean, I know that when I say this, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. They are going to say, but it's worked out for some people. It's worked successfully for a lot of people. But again, there's no guarantee of success. There's no guarantee of you finding your special someone, even in the Christian themed platforms. Like, the advertisements give a false depiction as to how it would actually work out, as to how it would actually happen. And, like, it to me, I'm sure some of us would agree that when we hear those ads, they just make it sound so too good to be true. Like, they always guarantee that the platform works. You're sure to find someone while you're there. And yet, something about it just seems wrong. All right? Sure, they try to paint themselves in a very positive light, in the best possible light, but to me, it's not the light of Christ. They. How do I explain this? I Sorry for recording this without being fully prepared as to what to say, but I've talked about this with my parents. I've talked about this with certain people, and we've all agreed on the same thing. Like, at the end of the ad, specifically for the platform called Upward, I don't know if you all heard that one. There's that common phrase, "What have you got to lose?" And in my mind, I'm like, well, my patience, my sanity, and maybe even my soul. Because again, it's all so pushed. It's I don't know. It just it's not genuine. All right, it's not the same as having that true experience where you're hanging out with, like, in real life, you meet a girl, or if you are the girl, you meet a guy. Just throwing an example out. You meet that special someone in real life, or you're part of a club, or you go to the same church, you hang out, you get to know each other better, and then within due time, you start having a crush on each other, and that's when the feelings are confessed, the relationship builds, it becomes healthy. All right. For online, however, it it just doesn't really feel as incredible as it is when you develop those feelings slowly over time. You have more experience in that when you do that in real life. For online, however, you're just looking at pictures first and looking at the bio of someone you're looking at. Then you message them, you chat with them, and then you start falling for each other a bit too fast. And then you then plan to meet in real life, but it doesn't, it's not very easy finding the someone in your life who lives nearby. All right, it's the location that makes it harder. All right, and make sure they're not faking their age. All right, even on Christian platforms, we've got plenty of fakes. Trust me, I've met some. Not with girls, but like frauds in the music industry. But I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it just doesn't have that same butterflies in your stomach, genuine, you know, go home after the last time you've met and then sit down and then imagine things. You know, think about, what can I do the next time I meet them? Should I, is there a certain something special that I can do to really earn their approval? And I know that romance is a very hard thing to achieve. All right? It is one of the most difficult things to achieve in life. And I've known people who've grown so old and yet they still haven't found a certain someone. And and yet they don't choose to download a dating app and go that route. It's just that they're not so sad about it. They're not depressed about it. They're not feeling so down in the dumps about it. They, they've got those gray hairs of wisdom. They are still patient about it. They're still waiting on the Lord about it. And that is a great example to follow. I mean, I'm sorry I had to call out certain companies like Upward in a public video, but and I'm sure that some of you probably won't agree with me on this, and I'm probably going to get some dislikes on this video for that, but I've made an observation. You know, ever since I joined Instagram, I've been getting ads about Upward, and I'm like, I'm still asking myself, is this the right thing to do? Is this something that God would want to see happen to someone who chooses to follow him? Like, I know he gives us free will, and as long as we have that free will, we must learn to use it wisely and to give obedience to Him and ask for wisdom. I hope I summed it up as best as I could. All right? Because in times like these, and in these certain situations, with these certain feelings, these certain emotions, this sort of mental and emotional health, not just with me, but with a lot of other people who are kind of mixed in to those settings. I feel like I need to address that to kind of put these kinds of topics to bed. All right? So, yeah, if you've got your own input to give about this particular topic, you're free to say so in the comments below. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a bunch of mixed reactions as to whether people agree or not. Trust me, I've addressed these kinds of topics before, and results may vary. Just as many of those disclaimers say, results may vary. So, I guess I will talk to y'all later and take care.